So what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence? Well, if you look at machine learning, it is essentially the analysis of lots of data algorithmically to extract patterns, to find interesting things in there. And I'm going to tell you what interesting things are in a second. Artificial intelligence is essentially the application of rules and heuristics and lessons we have learned through experience. So those are the big primary divides. One is algorithmic, swallowing gobs of data, and the other one is taking the rules of experience we as human beings have learned and applying them in an algorithmic sort of way. So let's explore the first one just a little more. What's the first thing we want a machine to do after eating gobs of data? Well, there are only 4 things we want a machine to do. The first thing I would say is reduce dimensionality. If there are 10 million things that are important, what are the 3 things that are very, very important? That's what we call reducing dimensionality. If you're a pilot flying a plane, can you monitor everything? Well, you can't. So you try to boil it down to altitude and airspeed, and you're kind of there. You have reduced the dimension of what constitutes to be safe flying. So reducing dimensionality in data and understanding the truth is the first thing behind machine learning. The next one is what we call recognizing patterns and predicting outcomes, right? If a machine can't predict an outcome, why bother feeding it data? So predicting outcomes is the next big focus of machine learning. The third one is what we call, I briefly talked about and said recognizing patterns. What does recognizing patterns mean? Clustering and classification. If you got a box of M&Ms, you say, oh my God, all the M&Ms are all of a certain kind. I move them around in a certain sort of way. I cluster them. Then I classify them based on colors. I say some of them are green, some of them are blue. I classify things. Clustering and classification and automatically discovering clusters, discovering classes in there become another facet of machine learning. And finally, the big part of machine learning is of course natural language processing, understanding language, and whether it is words or sentences or concepts embedded in them, understanding them are really facets of machine learning. So what are the 4 things that machines do really well? 1, after eating data, they reduce dimensions, they predict outcomes, they basically recognize clusters and classes and patterns, and finally, they understand and parse language. That's what we use machine learning for. Well, how does artificial intelligence shake out similarly? Well, it's augmented decision making. Simply put, if you look outside the window and it is cloudy, you say to yourself, oh, maybe I should take an umbrella. I may get wet a little later, right? So essentially you are applying a rule through experience you have learned and are trying to augment the kind of decisions you make about your apparel, about your clothes, about the accessories you carry with you. And that's really artificial intelligence, right? Taking human experience, extracting the rules and heuristics embedded in them, and enabling a machine to apply them religiously and rigorously. That's really what ML and AI are used for. And their application to marketing, branding, and product innovation naturally follows.